I energetically attract clients by working on my beliefs, by manifesting, by doing my rituals, setting goals, and getting coached. I never give up, and I don't see failure or rejection as a problem, because it's not. There is always another launch. There is always another client. Everything is a circumstance, and I get to choose how I think about it. You're listening to the From Imposter to Empowered podcast. I'm your host, Jill Perrick, a business and mindset coach who specializes in imposter syndrome. If you feel like you're not as smart, capable, or worthy as you actually are, and that someone is going to find you out, then you've come to the right place. I went from being a struggling government worker, working my coaching business on the side, but feeling unworthy and burnt out, to making multiple six figures helping women overcome imposter syndrome so they too can sign clients, make bank, and have the business or career of their dreams. I am nothing special. I have a stuttering disability, ADHD, and I struggle with anxiety and depression. So if I can learn how to feel good enough and overcome my inner imposter, then so can you. Let's dig in. Hello, my lovelies. Welcome back to the pod, and happy October. I am not Halloween girly whatsoever. The real ones know that my childhood home burnt down on Halloween in 2020. And even before that, we were just not a Halloween family. But if you are, that's all cool. To me, autumn, fall, it means like the Harry Potter marathon in our house, comfy clothes. I've been loving my airy sets that I've been buying. And when you are listening to this, it will be 2 months until I'm off for the entirety of December, taking no coaching calls for the most part. And I'm going to be on a cruise with my family. We are going to Southern Caribbean. So we're going to St. Martin. We're going to the Barbados. We're going to Antigua. I hope that's how you say it. I hope that's how you say Antigua. But I'm so fucking excited. The last time I was on a cruise was when we were kids. We went on a cruise in like 2003. So I was like 11 or 12. And we went to Disney World, which was super fun. And we went on a cruise afterwards. So it was a great family vacation, and I really can't wait for this one. And something else that I truly can't wait for is the launch of my fucking content course, Unfiltered and Filthy Rich. This is the content course that is gonna help you make money from your content and be the fullest fucking expression of yourself in your content. No more holding back or not knowing what to talk about or thinking you and your content isn't good enough. This is a course with audio and video modules, exercises, and subconscious resources that are going to transform your content so you can show up unfiltered and get filthy rich from just posting on social media. And if you sign up at the waitlist at the link in my show notes, not only will you get the special investment of $888, but you'll also get access to the bonuses that are only available to the waitlist, like a full week of Voxer with me and an in-depth content audit of your Instagram feed. So head to the link in my show notes and sign up for the waitlist there so you can get all of the details now. We open the course to the public on October 16th. And now let's get into the episode, which is how I call in the most aligned clients using energetics. I am fucking obsessed with every single client that I'm working with right now. And I know it's because I've been so intentional about who I'm calling in and who I need to be in order to do that. So like, that's what I mean. When I talk about energetics, like I'm not talking about something super like crazy or woo-woo. It really is just like how I call in clients with my own energy and who I am being, right? Like I am actually quite spiritual in my business practices, even though I may seem really like grounded and logical and down to earth and realistic in my approaches, which I am. But like, I don't think that means that I can't be spiritual. I just think it surprises people sometimes. However, I energetically call in clients all the time, and not just clients, but really aligned clients who are a perfect fit for my offers. And today I'm going to spill some of my secrets as to how I actually do that. So firstly, again, what do I mean by energetically attracting clients? This means that you are bringing people into your orbit and attracting them to your offers with how you feel, how you show up, and the content that you create. Now, I don't want you to spin out, okay? Because I can literally hear my clients spinning out right now because having ADHD, being neurodivergent, having anxiety and or depression, I have all these things. These things affect how we feel. But feelings are just states. They are fleeting, and I will talk about that later, how they are states, and we are always shifting in and out of states. And as long as our thoughts are directed in a way that creates our energy in times where it's most important, like when you're showing up to sell, then you are absolutely capable of energetically attracting clients, even with emotional highs and lows and mental health issues, okay? That's the caveat here. So I have a 9-year-old Chihuahua. His name is Hugo. And on my Instagram, you'll see him in my stories, or if you're a client, you'll hear me yell at him because he'll be barking when I'm on calls at anything and everything walking past the living room window. But on our walks, we take the same route every single day. And there's this part of our walk where these two dogs are always at the fence. And Hugo knows before we can even see the dogs. He knows what part of the walk we're at and when he's going to see these dogs. His little hairs start sticking up. He starts running and hopping and jumping. And he gets so excited to meet up with these two big dogs. He's a shithead that thinks that he is bigger than a lot of dogs, I swear. But like I said, before we can even see the fence, Hugo is reacting because this memory is entirely programmed into Hugo's tiny brain. He knows where he is, and he is reacting before the burst of energy required to jump and bark at the dogs behind the fence. And this is reminiscent of what I call priming practices, which is the act of priming yourself before you get to work. So when we think about your mindset and morning routines, a lot of people don't understand their function. Like, why are we doing this? And their function is to help you perpetuate the good state that you're in or shift out of the state that you're in if it's negative. And this is important because, just like Hugo, you probably have a conditioned response to showing up or creating content. You probably feel anxious or negative, and then you open the Instagram or TikTok app or begin recording your podcast, and you already feel shitty. And you think things like, no one cares, this isn't helping, I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm not good enough, etc. So by having a priming practice, you are interrupting that conditioned response and therefore changing your energetic output that comes through in your content. And I think about this with my own experiences as well, like when I feel the adrenaline rush after getting off the Peloton. I get so many ideas when I exercise that I almost always jump off the bike when I'm done and do an Instagram story or write a post. After a coaching call where I get coached, after listening to a course or a YouTube video, my energy is different, and therefore the potency of my words and my energy is different. It's authentic. I'm not overthinking it, and I feel confident in it. And people can smell that shit from a mile away. And it's why you can never, ever replicate somebody else's exact words, because the effect of those words comes from their power in saying it. While from someone replicating it, the power and confidence may not be there. So, priming practices can be as simple as meditating, EFT tapping, journaling on your desires. It is a mindset routine for you, again, to continue the current good state that you're in or shift out of the negative state that you're in. And in the Unfiltered and Filthy Rich content course, you'll be able to dive deeper into your unique priming practices and what is specifically best for you. The second thing I do to energetically attract clients is I speak to the client who is A, wanting what I'm offering, and B, ready for that offer today. This is really important, using language that is clear and specific to the person who wants my offer and who wants it now, not later. If you believed that someone in your audience wanted what you were offering and that they were ready to purchase today as a result of you showing up, what would you say? What would you do? Now, let me be clear. People do not purchase from me every single day, and I think it does depend on the kinds of things that you sell. But how does it serve me to believe that there are people in my audience who don't want my offer? Hey guys, I hope you're loving today's episode. I am just taking a brief pause in today's episode to share with you a client testimonial. These testimonials are either from group coaching clients or clients who are in my one-to-one coaching program. And I can't wait for you to hear how I have changed their lives and their businesses for the better.
So I joined this program initially to just work on my own mindset when it came to my business, but doing this program and working with Jill has literally changed my life. Not only did I begin signing more clients in my business, but my thoughts and my mindset about life and business in general as a whole has completely shifted. I have been able to step more out of my shell and just show up fully as myself. I've overcome a lot of shame that I've been holding on to for a very long time. And I learned how to run my business in my own way instead of feeling like I had to show up a certain way and do things a certain way.
Thank you guys so much for listening. Now let's get back to the episode. I saw somebody on Instagram the other day uploading to her stories how her coach told her that 99% of your audience doesn't want your offer. And I was like, why the fuck would you choose to even believe that? Even if it's true, when I couldn't convince myself that there were tons of people who wanted my offer, it was helpful for me to believe that there was at least one person on that day that wanted my offer and that they were on the edge of their seat and ready to purchase right then and there. That created so much inspiration, excitement, and honestly, innovation of how I showed up and what I was going to say. People have thoughts like my audience takes forever to buy and nobody wants this offer, and then they wonder why their content isn't landing or why it's hard to show up and give value. I was actually coaching someone who wanted to change their offer and had thoughts of people want this new offer instead of this old offer. And I coached her on the fact that people are still buying from her. The common denominator here is you, not the offer. The same thing goes for when you're questioning if people are wanting your offer or if you think they need more time. You act on whatever you believe. It hurts no one and actually really helps you to think one person in my audience wants this offer and somebody is ready to buy today. And inside of the content course, there's actually specific language from neuro-linguistic programming that I will be providing you with that speaks directly to the empowered and aligned client, the one that is ready to work with you now. The third way I attract clients energetically is by not making anything I do or anything I feel wrong or bad. And I talk about this all the time, but it does come up often, so it doesn't hurt to repeat myself over and over again, because you will accomplish so much when you realize this. How you feel doesn't have to mean anything. You are allowed to struggle with your emotions. You are allowed to struggle with anxiety and depression. And the shame of experiencing those things will always be more painful than just actually allowing yourself to experience them and move on. So to get specific, if I lay in bed all morning with executive dysfunction and feel depressed, I allow myself to do that, and I still believe that I'm an amazing coach who can get my clients results. Just because I'm not perfect behind the scenes, it doesn't mean shit about who I am as a coach. Your emotions will linger longer when you shame yourself for having them. But when you radically accept your emotions as they come, without making them mean everything about you and your existence and the future of your business, you will be able to move through them way faster. And this is hard, especially because we're used to hyper-fixating on our emotions as neurodivergent people, but it's basically a mantra I have to repeat to myself every time I'm feeling emotional. This is okay. I'm okay. This doesn't mean anything. I don't have to create stories about what this emotion means. Seriously, that is what my thoughts sound like. Drop the shame around your impostery thoughts and your shitty feelings, and it will make showing up so much easier because you're not grappling over if you should feel sad or not as a coach. You're a human. You're not holier than thou. You are not void of the human experience. Your clients want a coach or an online service provider who handles herself no matter what it is you need to handle. Okay, so I actually want to riff on this for a second, guys. So somebody in the online space is extremely transparent. They put every negative thought and shitty experience, etc., that they are having on their Instagram stories. And I'm gonna say something kind of cunty right now, but it's very obvious that they're not making any money. And I'm not saying this to be cruel. I'm just saying it to make a point, okay? Her transparency is fine, but she has not built any trust with her audience that she's handling these things. The way it looks is really like she has a feeling and immediately shares it, but we also have to learn how to hold ourselves to a higher standard as a leader. We are all allowed to feel how we feel and to go through things, but at the end of the day, you run a business. And even though we can't control what happens in our lives, we can control how we handle things. And I feel completely in integrity and proud of myself about how I handle things behind closed doors and how I lead myself. And that is something that completely comes through in the way that I show up and how I create content. Which leads me to the fourth and final way that I call in clients energetically, which is by knowing and believing that I walk the fucking walk behind the scenes. Meaning I do the inner work and the hard work. I am in integrity with my work. I work on my mindset, I journal, I meditate, I do the breath work. I fucking practice what I preach. And if you have time to show up on Instagram, you have time to work on yourself. I energetically attract clients by working on my beliefs, by manifesting, by doing my rituals, setting goals, and getting coached. I never give up, and I don't see failure or rejection as a problem, because it's not. There is always another launch. There is always another client. Everything is a circumstance, and I get to choose how I think about it. And I choose to think that because I do the work behind the scenes, it opens me up to fully receive and feel worthy of receiving in front of the scenes. So if you are doing all the things when it comes to marketing your offers and you feel like things aren't happening as fast as they should, there may be beliefs that you have and issues around your worthiness that are preventing you from calling your best clients into your offers. In Unfiltered and Filthy Rich, my course that is going to help you make money from your content and show up fully fucking yourself online, we merge the mindset and the marketing together so you can feel like the successful, badass entrepreneur that you are and translate that confidence and clarity into your content to actually attract those clients to you. This course will include video and audio modules, in-depth exercises to clarify your messaging and create epic content that converts, and subconscious mind resources to change your beliefs about yourself, your business, and money. And when you join the waitlist, you'll not only get access to the course at a discounted price, but you'll be eligible for the insane bonuses that I'm dropping during the launch week. And these bonuses include an Instagram audit and Voxer with me. The link is in my show notes to get on the waitlist. I can't wait to see you there, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Bye. Thanks so much for listening to the From Imposter to Empowered podcast. Head to the show notes to learn how you can work with me, where you can buy my best-selling book, You're Not Special, and how to get on my email list for free. Screenshot this episode and add it to your Instagram stories, tagging me at YourCoachJill. See you next time.